live again. Second time today. We are outside City College of New York, where I was last night as the police raided the Columbia campus. At the same time, they were here brutalizing protesters outside this campus last night, and then they eventually raided the City College campus around midnight, I would guess. All that footage will be posted on the Status Coup YouTube channel. So what you're looking at right now is the police. Police are giving the protesters on the side a hard time about. Hold on.
Right now. Right now. You might not be able to hear.
You might not be able to hear.
Right at the back.
Right at the back.
Because we can't use a microphone.
Because we can't use a microphone.
That's so that the press can hear with freedom. The press can hear. If you want to come down,
please
do.
Please do.
Okay, so. Mic check. Mic check. Do not engage with agitators.
Do not engage with agitators.
That is not the purpose.
That is not the purpose.
And reason we are here.
And reason we are here.
The reason we are here.
The reason we are here.
Is to free Palestine.
Is to free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Woo! Everyone, so we're going to begin now. We have a long list of speakers. They're each going to have 5 minutes to speak. This is a press conference that has been called between CUNY and Columbia, both campuses, both student groups organised encampments on their campuses as part of the movement to liberate Palestine, to end the genocide in Palestine and the occupation. We're going to go through the speakers. I will introduce them one by one as they come up, and at the end, if we have time, we'll take a few questions, but we might not have much time. Okay. So first up, we have Cam from Columbia JVP.
Hi, my name is Cameron Jones, spelled Cameronjones. I'm a second year at Columbia University, and I'm an organizer with JVP and Quad. On the 207th day of genocide in Gaza, pro-Palestinian student activists struck a decisive blow to Israel by exposing Columbia University's use of violence to protect their investments in Israel's vicious assault on Palestinians, after having ignited a global movement, hereby dubbed the Student Intifada by Palestinians in Gaza. The shocking police violence we all witnessed on Columbia's campus followed the student decision to escalate after the university repeatedly attempted to use force to extract concessions in negotiations. On Monday, a group of autonomous protesters took over the university's historic administrative building on campus without the use of any physical violence and renamed it Hind Hall in memory of Hind Rajab, a martyred 6-year-old Palestinian girl who was violently murdered by the Israeli occupation forces in Gaza. We honor Hind to call attention to Israel's systematic disregard for Palestinian lives after Israeli soldiers prevented an emergency medical crew from reaching Hind and rescuing her as she sheltered in a car surrounded by the dead bodies of her family, who were murdered by the IOF. Columbia's surreal response to the protesters' non-violent takeover of Hind Hall turned our campus into a war zone. The university called the NYPD to storm campus with militarized police, brutally attacking and arresting over 100 students with multiple hospitalizations. Following the attacks on protesters at Hinds Hall, the NYPD then removed our peaceful encampment on the lawn, destroying our belongings, tents, artwork, and the community where we have spent the last 13 days sharing meals, praying, and protesting for liberation. Colombia's attempt to oppress the movement only strengthens our resolve. We are not finished. There is a reason why this student-led movement has garnered unstoppable momentum on campuses worldwide. Because we stand on the right side of history. We stand for humanity. And we will not rest until Palestine is free. The protesters defending Hinds Hall belong to a rich, beautiful legacy of civil disobedience at Columbia. Indeed, on April 30th, 1968, nearly 700 anti-war student protesters at Columbia met the brutal force of state violence for taking over the same building, now named Hinds Hall. On the 56th anniversary of that day, to the very same day of the week, we met the same militarized adversaries with the resolve fiercer than before. The brave protesters in Hinds Hall put themselves in harm's way to force Columbia to divest. In response, Columbia University broke every written and unwritten rule of university norms by inviting a SWAT team and hundreds of armed riot cops, including the vicious Strategic Response Group, to invade Columbia's classrooms. They invaded Columbia's classrooms, barricaded students and press alike inside their dorms, and brutalized hundreds of us with metal equipment, tasers, flash grenades, and batons. Over 100 students were arrested. At least one student was hospitalized due to injuries from the NYPD. Video footage shows police shoving students to the ground, tasers crackling in the background as our classmates screamed, and a student being thrown down concrete stairs, leaving her unconscious. She was then denied medical care by Columbia. The world sees you clearly, Columbia. Your only goal, which you will defend at any cost, is to enrich your endowment at the expense of 40,000 Palestinian martyrs and every student in your care. We honor the memory of every university in Gaza destroyed by Israel, and we will continue to use our education to speak truth to power. That's right. We call on students and faculty worldwide to escalate their protests. To students and their supporters, academia is meant to advance our understanding of humanity. With Gaza as our metric, we call on you to resist this militant, war-making status quo.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
You must create your own campus agitations. University business cannot continue as usual amidst a genocide. Rest assured that history will absolve many of us, but certainly not all of us. And to every professor who has expressed shock at the events of last night, if you do not take action to demand divestment and an end to police presence on campus by withholding your labor, you too are complicit. You must do more than make statements. You must strike. Do not create exams. Do not teach classes. Our universities, which put profit over life, must grind to a halt until our demands are met. Divestment, disclosure, an end to campus militarization, and amnesty for all. The student revolution will help free Palestine within our lifetime. Thank you.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Okay, so up next we have Palestine within our lifetime.
Free Palestine!
Woo!
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon you. My name is Fatma Muhammad. a CUNY Law alumna, and an organizer with Within Our Lifetime, United for Palestine. On the afternoon of April 30th, City College, following the despicable actions we've seen at Columbia, warned the encampment, warned the students and faculty and community members that the encampment must be dismantled by the morning of May 1st. At approximately 11 p.m., without warning, CCNY President Vincent Boudreau requested the NYPD to enter the encampment to arrest students and faculty. He claimed to do this in the interest of student safety, because students and workers united protesting posed a safety risk. Protesters stood their ground as SRG officers came in with their batons and their mace. They stood in their ground as they swarmed and viciously attacked them. SRG police broke the ankle of an undergraduate student, broke the teeth of 2 protesters, attacked and burned many students, faculty, and at least 1 journalist with pepper spray at close range. And they beat many more with batons. Legal observers were denied entry. And amongst some of the very first people to be arrested was a faculty member who had been in negotiations with the president and the vice chancellor moments ago. 173 arrests were made at City College, a university that champions brown and black students, that uses the labor of brown and black students to advance its reputation, a university of the people that is supposed to be for the people. And as officers made their way into campus, an autonomous of brave students managed to occupy the finance office of Howard E. Administration Building in a final act of resistance. The students held the building for over an hour until they were violently removed and arrested. We salute those brave autonomous students, and we salute each and every single person standing up to this genocidal machine. We remind the larger community that we are protesting not to assert our First Amendment rights, but we are protesting to end this genocide. We are protesting to call for a dismantling of Zionism, which includes complete divestment.
That's right.
SRG violence is not new to us. It is not novel. We are accustomed to these threats of intimidation. We are accustomed to this violence. And we know that it is an attempt to plant fear in our hearts. But we remind students all over the globe that together we are stronger than they are.
Resistance is glorious.
We call on CUNY students everywhere, and we call on students in every corner of this country to resist, to stand tall and proud to resist, because as we are protesting, people in Rafah, in tents, are being bombed by the Zionist entity. As we are protesting, there are children in Gaza dying of heat and starvation. As we are protesting, there are people who are being bombed with our tax money and our tuition. And so as CUNY students, CUNY alum, and as part of the CUNY community, we remind people that as of 2016, CUNY was invested in at least 1.1 million in weapons manufacturer companies, and as of 2016, CUNY was invested in nearly 8.5 million in companies that either aid or profit from the ongoing occupation of Palestinians. And so if CUNY does not like our encampments, if CUNY does not like the images of our encampments, if we are disturbing their peace, then we tell them that they must divest, they must stop disturbing the lives of the Palestinian people. The president and the larger CUNY community and all media correspondents, we remind everyone who set Gaza on fire that we will not rest, we will not rest, we will not rest until they divest and until the Zionist entity falls.
Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Up next we have Sueda from Columbia University Apartheid.
Hi, my name is Sueda Polat. I'm a student organizer with Quad and one of the members of the negotiating team. I'd like to begin by saying that our protest, our encampment, the occupation of Hins Hall, formerly known as Hamilton Hall, was a blessing in disguise for Columbia University. It was an opportunity for them to recognize a moment in which they could choose to divest, a moment in which they could choose to clarify their position on one of the most important moral questions of our lifetime. Columbia University was too blind based on its money, its endowment, its capitalist interests, its priority of profit over life, its alignment with congressional pressure and U.S. geopolitical interests, too blind to recognize this opportunity. Instead, Columbia University chose to condemn its students who are standing on the side of justice, and this will be a stain on its legacy, which we will not let it forget, not today, not tomorrow, and not for the next few decades. Throughout our 2 weeks of negotiations with this university, we were consistently met with bad faith negotiating, despite the fact that the university claims that they had constructive dialogue with students. Yesterday, under threat of law enforcement, the university Senate members reached out again, asking us to accept a deal that was far removed from what students demanded. Though our demands were divestment, disclosure, and amnesty, the university gave us nothing more than bureaucracy, nothing more than proposals, nothing more than speculation that one day soon, maybe, they would consider divesting. While law enforcement was descending on the campus, students were joyful. They were not afraid. They were not cowed in fear by their university because they knew that they were taking the principled ground. They refused to accept a deal that would disgrace their movements. They refused to accept capitulation, and they took the moral high ground. They refused to allow the university to say that they had come to agreement with us. Our students sang songs saying that they will not be moved unless by force, knowing that they were being watched by the eyes of children in Gaza who write our names on their tents, who say Columbia University, who say CUNY is protesting for them. Our students remain principled, remain strong, remain tenacious in the face of police violence, in the face of brutalization, and in the face of bad faith negotiating by their university. My name is spelled S-U-E-D-A-P-O-L-A-T.
Up next we have Mariam from Columbia SJP.
Hi, Miriam Alwan, M-A-R-Y-A-M-A-L-W-A-N. Thought we fucking shot someone were the recorded text messages on a police officer's phone on Columbia University's campus Tuesday night and posted on Twitter. This was one of many officers who also denied all medical access to a student that they knocked unconscious. 2 weeks after being arrested myself, and on the 56th anniversary of Columbia's brutal arrests of over 700 students protesting the Vietnam War and gentrification of Harlem, I was pushed and barricaded into John Jay by riot police, called onto campus by our administrators yet again. I watched as an EMT pleaded to be allowed to treat students, as police laughed and turned off their body cameras, and as press were prevented from bearing witness. Columbia and the cops collaborated to brutalize my classmates in the dark for standing up for what is right. The mainstream media is currently lying about outside detractors and overblowing property damage in order to justify brutality and distract from their complicity in genocide, just as they did with the civil rights movement, Black Lives Matter, and every other social movement for change. I was posting videos of the police throwing tables and breaking windows in real time yesterday. To be clear, the police caused far more property damage and physical endangerment than my classmates ever did.
Shame! Shame!
There is not a single student-led uprising in history met with severe state-sanctioned violence that did not end up being right. Woo! Frankly, I am tired of press conferences performing Palestinian trauma to the American public. How many more children have to be trapped under the rubble of our bombs for you all to wake up? History will not look kindly upon you. 6-year-old Hind Rajab's name will be memorialized in textbooks and on Colombia's website one day. Her story is just one of the over 40,000 slaughtered Palestinians that we could not possibly name enough buildings after. As we speak, Israel is invading Rafah, a location it previously designated a safe zone. Last week, President Joe Biden sent $14.1 billion to fund more genocide. Money that could be used to fund our healthcare is being funneled to destroy the last standing hospitals in Gaza. We Americans are the most complicit in the worst atrocities of modern history. We refuse to be distracted from genocide. My message to the Columbia University administration and the United States government is this. When the tide inevitably finishes turning and your investment in moral bankruptcy is no longer politically profitable, understand that you have always been the villains. And when Palestine is finally free, we, your students, will never, ever forgive you. We will not stop fighting. This is only the beginning.
Hi, so up next we have Sharif from CUAD.
Hi, my name is Sharif and I'm with CUAD, Quad, Columbia University Apartheid Divest. Today is May Day, day 207 of Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people. Yesterday, April 30th, was the 56th anniversary of the NYPD arresting nearly 700 protesters at Columbia in an attempt to shut down the glorious student movement of 1968. Last night, students fighting for divestment at CUNY and Columbia and across the nation faced some of the worst police brutality witnessed on college campuses. These incidents mark a turning point in the student movement, which we aim to be a time for reflection. This moment will catalyze the world into seeing that students have the right to resist police brutality just as Palestinians have the right to resist their genocidal oppressors. University campuses have become the most contested ground in the nation as students display overwhelming support for divestment from Israeli genocide and apartheid. The administrations have subjected us to brutal police and state violence, and university presidents like Manu Shafiq have welcomed police, also known as pigs, onto campus until graduation. To police brutality, we say we are not deterred and we will win. Columbia will divest. To repression, we say our numbers will only grow. To state violence, we say we will become smarter, stronger, and better prepared to stand our ground. To the Palestinian people, we recommit our love to you and affirm that our hope and will has never been stronger. Our people arrested yesterday will soon be free and ready to fight again with even greater insight into the oppressor. We, the students, will win. From Emory to Humboldt to CUNY, we will wage not only a fight against the oppressors, but an effort to educate the world on our government's complicity and the genocide and the sham that is the American empire. From the belly of the beast, we proudly state that we are unafraid, we are strong, tomorrow is ours, and victory is nearer than we imagine. In our hearts are olive trees that will sprout passion unlike anything this country has ever seen. We, with our hope, with our voices, with our hearts and our minds, will build a student movement that will take back our campuses from morally corrupt administrations that disregard humanity for the sake of profit. We are the students, and we are not afraid. We will win all of our demands and more. From Harlem to Palestine, we will win! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Up next we have Zaid from AMP, who is a Columbia alum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته والصلوات والسلام على سيدنا Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yesterday on April 30th, 2024, pro-Palestinian student activists struck a decisive blow to the genocidal entity. We are here today to claim victory. We have exposed the City University of New York and Columbia University's complicity in war crimes, apartheid, and genocide. This victory is not just a historic milestone. It is a seismic shift in the struggle for justice and liberation for oppressed people everywhere. Change has always been in the hands of the youth, and today we proudly stand as the change makers for a better world, but with a conviction today fiercer than before. The student encampments, born of unwavering commitment to justice, stood as a fortress against oppression. Encampments began when courageous students of Columbia University and their allies rose up to confront the entrenched complicity of their institution in funding war crimes and genocide. Our demands were not requests. There were clear mandates with the goal to unveil Columbia's complicity in perpetrating injustice and to secure justice for the victims of Zionist terrorism. In the face of relentless adversity, students across the world have exercised their sacred right to resist. But the response from the forces of complicity was swift and savage. The hallowed halls and lawns of academia have transformed into battlegrounds as the deafening roar of sound grenades shattered the tranquility of the night. Columbia University, once revered as a home for enlightenment and free speech, revealed its true nature. A willing accomplice to the genocidal agenda of Zionist terrorism. Guns were pointed at students. Hijabs ripped off of the heads of Muslims. And bodies battered and beat by those who claim to serve and protect them. In the face of this relentless onslaught, we remain unbowed and unbroken. We have laid bare and exposed the complicity of Columbia University and the City University of New York in perpetrating war crimes and genocide, exposing the true nature of Zionism as a racist white supremacist ideology that employs terrorism to further its influence. Our encampment became an indomitable show of resistance, a beacon of hope to all free people across the world during the darkest of times. The response from the ruling elite was swift and savage. Politicians, presidents, and white supremacists teamed up with Zionists outside of our campus and across the country, unleashing a barrage of propaganda and attacks in a futile attempt to silence our righteous cause using false allegation and lies. They thought to criminalize our dissent, to drown out our voices with baseless accusations of anti-Semitism. But let it be known, we will not be silenced.
That's right.
Today's victory is not just a triumph for the people of New York City. Today is a roaring call for justice that has continued to echo across the world. The people have spoken. The people stand with Palestine, and the people are against Zionism. But today, the Zionist empire is continuing its barbaric terrorist campaign in Gaza.
Shame.
We continue to stand in unwavering solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine. Their struggle is our struggle, and their pain is our pain. Today, as we continue to reclaim our communities from the clutches of complicity, we declare that justice shall prevail, and it will prevail. We have torn aside the veil of deceit, the veil of lies, revealing our so-called leaders and institutions for what they truly are, prostitutes of the Zionist regime. Our so-called leaders are nothing but soulless puppets dancing to the tune of a genocidal regime steeped in white supremacist ideology that has come today to be shown in all different colors and faces and demographics. You no longer have to be white to be a racist white supremacist. We can think of Naamat Shafiq, the Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Columbia University. But let us be clear, the attacks yesterday on students were not only an attack on a handful of students, it was an assault on the very foundations of freedom and democracy. Hundreds of our community members were unjustly imprisoned last night, their only crime being the defense of justice against the monstrous tyranny of Zionism genocidal agenda. We say it over and over again, our leaders are complicit. They are not here to help us. Power is with the people, and we keep us safe, and we will keep Gaza safe, and we will keep all of those who are oppressed safe. And I ask you all, if you are covering the student protests, if you are covering the street protests, I ask the media to have some shame and cover what's happening in Gaza as well. Over 40,000 innocent Palestinians have been killed to pursue a terroristic campaign for no just cause. Over 15,000 children have been seen on social media for the last 6 months, hanging off of walls, parents carrying their children in plastic bags. Yet the shameful media has only been covering anti-Semitism, which has not been proven.
Shame.
Yesterday in California at UCLA, a group of hundreds of Zionists, terrorists, domestic terrorists, attacked students peacefully protesting on their college campus. That is an act of terrorism. So once you start calling out what's really going on and what we're protesting, stay the fuck off of our campuses.
Fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all. Fuck all of y'all.
So next we have Zunair from ICNA. What the fuck all of y'all?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to start with a simple and clear message. The Islamic Circle of North America and the ICNA Council for Social Justice, along with all other New Yorkers, stand resolute with our students and young activists in their noble quest for justice. We commend their peaceful yet powerful opposition to genocide and apartheid and their advocacy against institutional investments in such regimes. We unequivocally condemn the violent behavior of the NYPD and, more importantly, the actions of the college and university administrators who put the safety of their students in danger in order to protect the blood-soaked legacy of supporting the Zionist colonial entity.
Shame.
To our students and all people of conscience, we all know that every student movement has been met with resistance, but we will not let them silence you. We will not let them twist your cause, the cause of justice and life. We will not let them change the narrative to change the focus of the ongoing genocide. They're afraid because they know they cannot break us. And know this, we stand with you. Humanity stands with you. We will support and fight with you, and together we will free Palestine. Because we are standing with the truth. We are standing with justice. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious. We are on the right side of history. We must stand up, not just for ourselves, but for our brothers and sisters in Gaza whose voices have been silenced, for the children who are suffering with torn limbs and mass starvation. We must fight not with the weapons of our oppressors, but rise up together with unity, courage, and an unwavering belief in justice and equality. The time has come for us to rise, as our students have shown us, to stand shoulder to shoulder and say no more. No more exploitation.
No more.
No more division.
No more.
And no more living in the shadows of systems that do not serve us.
No more.
We must dismantle these structures brick by brick and build in their place a society founded on the principles of justice, equity, and mutual respect. Let us move forward with a fierce determination and a clear vision of what we are fighting for. A world where every Palestinian child is recognized and respected, where all of Palestine is free, and where justice reigns supreme. The people united will never be defeated. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Up next we have Jihad, who is a CUNY alum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First and foremost, we are here not because of us, not because of the students, not because of the stupid NYPD pigs. We are here because of Gaza, and only Gaza, and all of Palestine. We are here because they called for us to mobilize. We are here because this is what we are going to do. This is the promise that we made to our people in Gaza, to mobilize and resist until liberation. And this is what we are going to do until there is an end to settler colonialism and genocide wherever it may be. As students of CUNY, we recognize that our role is to pressure our administration by any means necessary until they meet our demands. Because our tuition is blood money, our tax dollars are blood money. It is going to fund the Zionist entity that is entering its 76th year of the ongoing occupation. And this revolution, which includes the mass demonstrations and encampments, are not just exclusively for students. It is for the masses. It is for the entire community. It is for the free people of the world who are able to resist however you can, whether it be with a rock or other tools of liberation. This is a people's revolution. This is for Gaza. And it is a duty upon us all, upon all of you journalists who are holding a camera. Next week, I want to see you hold something else, whether it be a rock or a Palestinian flag. Come to our protest. Don't just come to cover our protest. Come, hold the Palestinian flag. So, the myth of outside agitators, as the NYPD and CUNY administration describe, is in fact inaccurate. It is a myth. In fact, we welcome the entire community to join us in our efforts to resist and escalate for Gaza. Escalations are not wrong. Escalations is what Gaza is demanding for. They are the ones who are experiencing a genocide with bombs dropping on their homes every day. They sleep in cold tents with no blankets, no food. Us, we were sleeping there. We had food. We had blankets. We can't compare us to the people in Gaza. This is really the least what we can do for our people in Palestine. So, again, escalations are not wrong. We are not spreading fear or terror. In fact, it is only the United States, probably, who are afraid because they are seeing people mobilize. They are seeing people wake up and realize that the United States, the CUNY administration, and the Zionist entity are the enemy of every single human on this world. So, we are not spreading terror. We are not spreading hate. It is NYPD who is doing that. They are ripping off hijabs off of our sisters and mothers. They are beating our brothers with batons. And they are pepper spraying anyone who carries a Palestinian flag. And this is no surprise. It is the NYPD who exchange tactics and strategies and train with the Israeli occupation forces. And it is even more shameful that the CUNY and CCNY administration brought in the NYPD to arrest and brutally beat their own students. So again, escalations are not wrong when the CUNY administration is killing our people in Gaza. While we occupy the campus, it is them who are funding the occupation in Palestine. It is the CUNY administration that is organizing trips into occupied Palestine, where our people live, where our cousins live, where our brothers and sisters live, whose homes and cities have been destroyed and ethnically cleansed. It is the CUNY administration going on tours to our home, treating it like some kind of vacation resort. But it is not a vacation resort. It is our home, and we will return to our home. And to even dive deeper in this, the CUNY administration, as a matter of fact, recently, they organized trips into the occupation military bases that is bombing homes, schools, and hospitals in Gaza. So until our demands are met, we will continue to resist, not just until CUNY divests, but until Palestine is free from the river to the sea, and we will resist until complete liberation. And to all those arrested, whether it be the students or anyone from the community, whoever you are, you do not have to be a student to join our encampments. CUNY is a public space. It is open for the entire community. Education should not be sealed off with gates. Education is for everybody. So again, my message to all those arrested, I commend you and I applaud you. Gaza honors you. Gaza loves you. You have gone down in history as a hero resisting oppression wherever it may be. So getting arrested will not stop us, and I know it will not stop you. So even getting suspended, who cares? Our people are getting massacred. We don't care. Even martyrdom will not stop us and our people resisting in Palestine. And therefore, resistance is an eternal struggle that will never end. And to the enemy, this is not the end. If you think this is an end, you're just too bad for you. You're foolish. We're just getting started. The university, as our people back home call it, the University Intifada, we are just getting started with it. The University Intifada lives on until we are able to live in a free Palestine, free of oppression, with an end to Zionism and colonialism and genocide and imperialism wherever it may be. And I will end by saying this. The encampments are not just a group of students. It is the West Bank, it is Gaza, it is those in exile, it is those in the occupied territories, it is us living in this imperial, genocidal country. We are all here, we are the encampments. It is just because we're not there today, we're gonna be there tomorrow. It is an ideal that will never end. You can take down the tents, but you cannot take down the encampments. You cannot defeat the ideal. You cannot defeat the people. So to the Zionist entity and the CUNY administration, we are coming and we will be there when you least expect it. You will not be able to defeat the revolutionaries who truly carry truth and justice with them wherever they go. In school, we learn about Malcolm X, but are we really practicing what Malcolm X taught us? Are we really? So, again, you will not be able to defeat the masses whose army carries more power than your fragile multi-million-dollar military. We will defeat you. Assalamu alaikum.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Okay, so up next we have that was Jihad. Jihad.
That's it. Jihad. Just Jihad.
Just Jihad. Up next we have Karina, who is a CUNY teacher, CUNY faculty, and a member of CUNY for Palestine.
Hi, I just want to start by saying let's give it up for these amazing students. If their actions these past few weeks don't inspire you, I don't know what will. They are so brilliant and so courageous.
I want to talk a little bit about the violence, repression, and retaliation that we've heard about from these incredible students and why it's happening right now. The colonial capitalist state is targeting the student uprising because of how successful it has been, how principled and politically clear it has been in defense of Palestinian liberation. They have called out the horrors of genocide and the role of this government, our tax dollars, of U.S. imperialism in supporting and directly enacting this violence against the Palestinian people. This movement is growing, and it is a threat to Zionism and to U.S. imperialism. The students have had enough of seeing their own institutions' complicity in what is now over 75 years of settler colonial violence and dispossession in Palestine. The clarity, conviction, and determination of these students is what threatens this state, and it threatens capital, it threatens empire. As our Columbia comrade earlier said, they are angry because they see they cannot break the students. The brilliance and courage of these students is what has inspired so many CUNY faculty who are here with us today and who have been present in the encampment throughout the 6 days. CUNY faculty and staff who have stood in solidarity and have joined the encampment, as well as supported the encampment's 5 demands, and I'm just going to reiterate those. The first is disclose and divest. CUNY must divest its $8.4 million invested in tech weapons and surveillance that aid Zionist colonization and commit to financial transparency. Second, boycott. Ban all academic trips to the Zionist state, encompassing birthright, Fulbright, and prospective trips, and cancel all forms of cooperation with Israeli academic institutions, including events, activities, agreements, and research collaborations or projects. Third, solidarity. The encampment is calling on the administration to release a statement affirming the right of the Palestinian people to resist for national liberation and the right of return, and protect pro-Palestine students and workers from retaliation and repression. Fourth, demilitarize CUNY and demilitarize Harlem. We want the IOF and NYPD officers off of all CUNY campuses, and we want an end to all collaboration, trainings, and recruitment by imperialist institutions, including the CIA, Homeland Security, and ROTC. Thank you. And fifthly, a people's CUNY with a free tuition and a fair contract. The encampment demands a fully funded, free CUNY that is not beholden to Zionist and imperialist private donors. I want to speak now a little bit about the role of the administration in the events that happened last night and that have been covered by many of my comrades who spoke earlier. I want to point out that it was the CCNY President Boudreaux that called a state of emergency that put our students, CUNY students and workers, CUNY community in harm's way.
Shame.
Shame. Shame. I myself spoke only minutes before the raid on our encampment with Dr. Denise Maybanks, who's the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at CUNY. I spoke with her 2 times last night. One was about maybe half an hour, 45 minutes before the raid, and during that conversation, I explained to the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs the violence that I had witnessed only hours earlier. And I explained to her the horrors of the students and CUNY workers and community had experienced by seeing riot police enter onto our campus, as well as regular NYPD officers and the violence of CUNY's public safety officers. I explained this to her. She told me she would take this information back to the Chancellor, and I waited to hear back from her, hoping that she would take this advice and call off a more violent raid that everyone anticipated but didn't know when it would happen. When she called and told me the raid would be happening within the next few minutes, I pleaded with her, surrounded by students and other CUNY faculty and community members. We pleaded with her to stop and call off the raid and protect the students. I want to say now a few words about, well, firstly, the raid we know happened regardless of our pleading and regardless of the facts and information that were provided to the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. I want to now say a few words about the shameful raid that took place on the Gaza Solidarity Encampment that many of us here experienced yesterday. This was an incredible amount of excessive, disproportionate, unnecessary police brutality against our primarily working class, largely black and brown students and workers who were there in the encampment when this raid took place. And this violence was enacted by the NYPD. Earlier in the day, it was by the so-called public safety officers, because they do not provide safety. That's why we need to use quotation marks and get them off our campuses, as well as the NYPD. The NYPD came in, and this includes the SRG. It was a horrifying experience. I was in that encampment. I was linking arms with other faculty members and students when this occurred. We were surrounded on all sides by hundreds of police officers. It felt like a military invasion. It was terrifying, terrifying. I've never experienced anything like it before. There was an unnecessary and excessive use of force. Throughout the day, there had been chemical burns, broken bones, bruises. Not only students and workers, but also press had been targeted. During the raid, I personally witnessed several people thrown to the floor, beaten, brutalized by the police. I myself was also arrested, along with hundreds of others. I also want to point out that the NYPD blocked off the streets so that people couldn't come and see what was happening. This is fascism. And the violence against the protesters was extreme. There was also kettling of protesters on the outside, and this is despite a 2020 law that outlawed NYPD kettling. The NYPD kettled protesters on sidewalks and then pushed them back with batons.
They turned off their body cams.
Batons were pressed against their necks and chests when they had nowhere to go. They were choking people. There were violent arrests made both inside and outside of the encampment. In the jail, they also tased people. And in the jail, I can also testify to inhumane conditions that I witnessed. And I want to say these are not unique to this experience of last night, because we know the inhumane conditions are throughout our jails and prisons in this country. Right. But last night, I got to see firsthand this inhumane treatment of people who had been arrested. We were held in very long lines, hours, 5, 6, maybe even longer. Many of us were left out in the cold for hours. In the rain, we had our hands tied with zip ties behind our backs, very tightly done. And I think that was intentional. It was many people asked to have them loosened. The police refused. Most of them refused. I saw incidents of people crying, breaking down because they couldn't stand the pain from the zip ties on their wrists. We were not given a place to sit. So people were standing for hours. People with medical conditions were denied access to medical treatment. People passed out. People were denied access to water. They weren't given chairs. They were denied access to a bathroom for hours while detained. Despite cases that were settled by the NYPD for removal of women's hijabs during arrest, there was at least one incident that I myself witnessed in jail of a Muslim women's hijab taken, and the rest. But I should point out that all of the people who were in that jail were cheering, were screaming and calling on the police to give her back her hijab and to treat her humanely. And that was amazing. The experience of being there in solidarity with so many people who had been arrested, who were fighting back. They were resisting. They were yelling back at the police officers. And they were cheering and chanting for a free Palestine from the river to the sea. And that was throughout the time that I was there for hours. They were defiant. against these brutal NYPD. The actions and non-actions of our administration here at CUNY are a reminder that although the administration here constantly repeat the lie that our beautiful CUNY community who are here with us today, and we hear coming by honking their horns, the corner shops that have supported us, an ice cream store down there that gave us access to bathrooms when the CCNY shut down the building so we couldn't use the bathrooms. These are part of our beautiful community, CUNY community, and extends beyond our amazing students and workers to encompass our alumni and all of the community members in which our campuses are embedded, and which our university has contributed to displacing and criminalizing. These are not the outside agitators that the administration keeps claiming they are. They are part of our CUNY community, and we are proud to have them, and we are proud to be in solidarity with them and to have their solidarity. The real outside agitator is our administration. It does not represent this wonderful community that we have witnessed over years, over decades at CUNY, and especially in the last 6 days of this Gaza Solidarity Encampment. We have witnessed here a truly liberated and liberating space that expressed not only solidarity with the Palestinian liberation struggle, but with the liberation of all oppressed peoples. This is just the beginning. The students have reminded us that another world is possible and is already in the making, and I'm so proud to be a member of this CUNY community. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
Alright guys, give me a second, I gotta change.
My name is Karina Mullen, CORINNAMULLIN, and I'm a faculty member at John Jay. I'm an adjunct faculty member at John Jay College and Brooklyn College.
I just have to change the battery, so the screen's gonna go dark for a few seconds, and we'll be back.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
We have 2 more interviews.
We have 2 more interviews.
Then we will be done.
Then we will be done.
We will do quick questions. From the river
to the sea.
Palestine is almost free.
Palestine is almost free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
علم الثورة علي
علي علم الثورة علي
علي علي علي علي
علي علي علي علي
علي علم الثورة علي
علي علم الثورة علي
لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله
والشهيد حبيب الله
والشهيد حبيب الله لا إله إلا الله
Up next we have Hadika, who is a
Free, free, free Palestine!
Excuse me. Hi everybody. Hey media. Hey comrades. Nice to see everybody again.
especially after last night. As we stand here celebrating the resilience and resistance of our community, as these cars drive by, it's so beautiful, smiles on all of our faces. But we cannot ignore the fact that this is no time to be smiling. Over 40,000 Palestinians have been murdered in Gaza in the past 207 days.
That's right.
And our country has been funding it. More specifically, our institutions and my school, CUNY, has been complicit in this genocide. And we've seen the news, everybody has seen it, and we know why we're here. We're here because we refuse to trade off Palestinian blood for our Zionist education. So we've come here with 5 demands. We'll come up with some more, but as of right now, there's 5.
From genocide. Divest all of our investments from companies that assist in Israeli colonization and war crimes. And that is not a hard ask at all. Number 2 is that CUNY must respect an academic boycott by banning all academic propaganda trips to occupied Palestine and all of its relationships with Zionist universities, which are deeply rooted in enabling Zionist settler colonialism and genocide that is ongoing today. And number 3 is to protect CUNY students. That's the bare minimum. Protecting our community, whether that be our students, our workers, our faculty, who are in solidarity with us, or whether that be students in our classes. So that looks like ending the repression against our SJPs across CUNY. Or whether it be reinstating every single professor that has been fired from CUNY for simply just supporting Palestine and against an occupation and genocide. We demand a statement of solidarity with the CUNY community, condemning the genocide at the bare minimum.
That's right.
Yes. And number 4 is to demilitarize CUNY and demilitarize Harlem. We have seen in the past few days that the police do not keep us safe. In fact, they ensure that we are unsafe. We keep us safe! We keep us safe! So we demand the IOF-trained NYPD off of our campus. And ending all collaborations with them, whether that be divesting from the ROTC recruitment programs, whether that be recruitment for Homeland Security or the CIA or the FBI, get it all out of here. Yes! And included in this here at CCNY, it's pretty niche, it's pretty campus-based, but it's very important. We demand a rename of the Colin Powell School of Global and Civic Leadership. Because war criminals and terrorists will never represent us. And a reinstatement of the Status Coup and Guillermo Morales student community. True revolutionary CUNY alum who represent all of our people and fought for all of our liberation. And number 5 is to bring back the people's CUNY! Bring back the people's CUNY! CUNY was once free. So we possible to do it again. And it is not a hard ask, considering that education is a human right. Yes. And not a luxury reserved for the privileged. And we demand respect to the union and fair pay for all of our faculty, workers, and staff at CUNY. Because we know that Palestinian liberation is also workers' liberation. It's also black liberation. It's also people's liberation. It is all of our liberation. But unfortunately, these simple 5 demands have caused a lot of feedback. For simply just advocating against the genocide, we've seen unspeakable police violence and brutality, especially last night. And we know that this is no surprise, because we know that the NYPD works with the IOF. We know that any advocating for Palestine is indeed a threat to every single Zionist institution in the belly of the beast here in New York City. So while this brutality is not surprising in the slightest, and they are not here to keep us safe, they only serve the state, which we need to remember when we are protesting the genocide and colonization of Palestine, that our country's so-called leaders have been funding and unequivocally supporting this genocide and occupation. We know that the NYPD is not on our side. And look, if you can see, we're surrounded right now, all around, as if last night wasn't enough. So we do not trust our institutions to keep us safe. We trust ourselves and our community to keep us safe. Yeah! And I'm calling on my own president, Vince Boudreau, and the CUNY administration, who sold us out by calling in the NYPD to brutalize us for simply condemning a genocide, standing against the genocide last night, which violated their own CUNY policies. I don't feel safe on my campus. Not after tonight, but even before then. With the NYPD on our campus, I never felt safe. We've been protesting for months, and I've been hate crimes, I've been threatened, I've been harassed, and every single time I quote-unquote played by the book and reported it to the public safety, they ignored it, they swept it under the rug. So I do not rely on them to keep me safe, or any of us. I rely on my community. In fact, I've never felt safer on this campus than how I felt back in the encampments last night. If you see, it's the most beautiful society in there. We support each other. We have little art clubs, little book clubs, mutual aid, food security, a library for the people. And our encampment is what it could look like to be liberated. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! So I will continue to cultivate these spaces of liberation within the belly of the beast. That is resistance. And I will continue. I'll let them catch up. Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! I will continue to help cultivate these spaces of liberation in the belly of the beast. And I will continue to advocate for Palestine and not back down, even when all of this violence continues, because the only thing I fear is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will not be intimidated into silence. In fact, we know that the more they try to silence us, the louder we will be. We are calling for an end to the genocide in Gaza immediately, and the end of the colonization in Palestine from the river to the sea. And we will continue to do that here in Palestine, on every part of this earth, because we declare our right on this earth to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, on this day, and we intend to bring that into existence by any means necessary.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
And we will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine is almost free.
Palestine is almost free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine is almost free.
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 Thank you so much.
Okay, and last up we have Burhan from CARE.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Burhan Carroll. I'm a staff attorney at CARE New York, the Council on American Islamic Relations New York chapter. We're a civil rights organization. We protect the rights of Muslim New Yorkers. It's my honor and privilege today to stand in solidarity with the students of CUNY and Columbia. Inshallah, I'll keep this brief because I know we're all ready to get started. This is a historic May Day for New York State. On this May Day, universities tried to kill dissent. The police tried to kill dissent. They tried, but they failed. They learned that these tactics will not silence us. We are not going anywhere. On this May Day, we need to explain once again to these institutions, it's not that complicated. Violent arrests, suspensions, expulsions, they're not going to work. We are going to be here no matter what. From CUNY to Columbia, Stony Brook, Adelphi, University of Buffalo, and many others, all of New York State, its students are rising up and speaking together with one voice. Alhamdulillah. So please keep your du'as out for the Palestinian people, our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Palestine Harra! And May Day Mubarak! Assalamu alaikum.
Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free
We are taking questions. From the corrupt media. So give us 10 minutes before we start the rally.
Teddy Weiss, WKCR. So, despite Columbia's campus being on complete lockdown, this, as you can see, this is much more than anything than insular to just our campus, and I'm sure CUNY's campus. How has the effect of all of this outside media, who are not welcome into the gates that we share, how has that been an effect to students of Quad and the movement here?
Yeah, I can answer. Hey all, my name is Layla Saliba, Layla. I'm a Columbia University student. I'm Palestinian American. So one of the ways that the media has really impacted what we've done at Columbia is that media has unnecessarily escalated our encampment. Media has also sensationalized what we are doing. Media has also contributed to consistent dehumanization of Palestine. Mic check, y'all. Mic check.
Mic check. We have to be respectful. Let the interview be completed. Please. Be quiet. Thank you.
So, as a Palestinian American student at Columbia University, especially as someone who has lost family members, I have experienced consistent dehumanization from media outlets and from Columbia's own administration. We are regularly treated as if we are national security threats for simply being against the bombing of our relatives that is done with our tax dollars. It should not be controversial to say that you are against the death of over 40,000 people. It's honestly, Columbia has been such a challenging place to grieve for me as a student. I just lost another cousin last week. I've lost over 15 members of my extended family at Columbia as a student at Columbia. My family members are some of the last Palestinian Christians in Gaza. They have nowhere left to go. And I'm not the only student that has lost family. There are students here who have lost 30 family members, 20 family members. We are all grieving. And the university does not care. They want to appease their donors and trustees so bad that they are willing to use systematic violence against us. And they think it's okay. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. Regardless of whether or not you agree with the encampment or whether or not you agree with people occupying a building, students should not be brutally attacked by the NYPD.
Also, on the point of the effect of media, I would say that we're seeing a microcosm of the distortion that has normalized Palestinian death. You know, all of you outlets continually say Palestinians die. Who killed the Palestinians? Our university president this morning, she sent an email saying humanitarian crisis and tragedy. Who is causing the humanitarian crisis and tragedy in Gaza right now? And last night I slipped through the gates and I was documenting what was going on. The police and the university did not want people to take videos of what was going on, and in order to be able to lie about it the next morning. The same way this happens with every oppressive and repressive movement everywhere. I mean, you're from WKCR last night. That was on the ground reporting. Our own students, their terrified voices, their sobs. They were all documented by our own student journalists, and Columbia did not want people to know what went on last night. It's all connected, all repression is connected, and all of your mainstream distortion is connected, and it manufactures consent to genocide and also, you know, state violence on our campuses.
I also want to call out some specific outlets, specifically CNN and the New York Times. Your coverage has been horrific of Palestinian students and of what we are dealing with at Columbia.
And the New York Post.
Oh my, the New York Post has written individual hit pieces, yeah.
CNN reporters were laughing yesterday, CNN reporters, when talking about showing the faces of students. We are receiving death threats. I am receiving rape threats. We have been constantly harassed, and the media is subjecting us to more violence just so they can get clicks and views. We are students. We are human beings. We are not your content. And it has been beyond frustrating as someone who has greatly admired media, who wanted to be a journalist when I was younger, to be treated like this.
Right.
And specifically, too, I also want to say the fact how quickly members of the media, such as Anderson Cooper from CNN, he was repeating rumors. Our reporters at WKCR were doing a better job of verifying the facts than the professional journalists out there. As a journalist, you have a responsibility to the people you cover. And many people have neglected that and ignored that so they can sell a story.
Shame.
Not to mention the dozens of Palestinian journalists that have been killed in Gaza. But, yeah.
Hi, Melanie Marriage, CUNY Journalism School. Can you tell us a little bit about the community built outside of One Police Plaza and inside One Police Plaza between the Columbia students and the CUNY students who were detained last night and through this morning?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. Hi, Melanie Marriage, CUNY Journalism School. I'm asking about the community formed between the Columbia protesters and the CUNY protesters tonight, last night at One Police Plaza through this morning and here today with this joint press conference.
Yeah, well, I think, we are not two distinct communities. Anyone fighting against the genocide of the Palestinian people is one community, and as we've said earlier and as we continue to say, the lines must be blurred. We are all outside agitators when we are protesting against the genocide and the occupation of the Palestinian people. And so this community is not predicated upon similar actions that we have or similar events that we endure, but we are united on a cause, and that cause is ending this genocide and ending the funding to this genocide and demanding nothing but complete divestment.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Yes. WKCR, we received a message from Columbia's President Manoush Shafiq early this morning that said, quote, "I thank the NYPD for their incredible professionalism and support." Do you have any reactions to the Columbia president saying this after the raid last night?
I mean, I'd say I was surprised, but given the fact that Manoush Shafiq has called the police on us before, I don't really expect much from her or the Columbia University administration.
Unfit to lead.
They are unfit to lead and frankly morally bankrupt. They would rather risk the health, safety, and well-being of their students to appease donors and trustees. And Manoush Shafiq, with that email, she is desperately trying to fight for her job. She thinks that we can go back to normal. When we cannot go back to normal after what has happened to us. This has galvanized the campus, it has moved us, and we are really disappointed with Manoush Shafiq's leadership, but not just Manoush. The Board of Trustees, members of the Board of Trustees directly profit off of what is going on in Gaza, and that's something that we've been trying to call account to.
I'm Leon with CCNY's The Campus Magazine, a student journal at this college, City College. I'm wondering, as students who witnessed police brutality on your campuses, from police called in by your campuses, how does it feel going back to classes, the idea of going back to classes, especially with heightened police and public safety presence?
Honestly, it's terrifying. It's terrifying the amount of hateful remarks that Arab, Muslim, and Palestinian students have gotten on campus and around campus. during this time period. We've had Muslim students outside of campus were referred to as sand N-words by outside agitators. So really the racism it's appalling, and it's very scary for many students of color, and that's something that the university has failed to consider throughout all of this. Manoush wants NYPD to remain on campus, and we strongly disagree with that.
And to add to that, at CCNY, Vince Boudreau actually made all classes virtual until further notice, which to me just says that instead of actually protecting our campus, making our campus a safe place to be, and getting rid of the cops on our campus, he would rather just shut down. And that to me also reflects the amount of power that we have. So I truly do believe that we will get our demands met. We will. From Columbia to CUNY to everywhere in this place, the guy Encampment's going. And we will create a safer environment for ourselves going back onto campus.
Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Yes.
She's asking if how many were released. I think
there's still people at One Police Plaza. We don't know final numbers yet. We'll keep you all updated. Yes.
Sheila Uria with Columbia Journalism School. I was wondering, with the encampment gone and with the NYPD on Columbia through May 17, according to the President of Columbia, what is next for the Gaza Solidarity Encampment, for Quad and any organizations in our capacity?
We can't, we can't speak to our plans right now, but I do know that every time.
Give me a second, guys. I have to change the battery again.
And, escalated their tactics of repression, they have only galvanized the student body more and more and more. So all I can say right now is that Columbia, it's not over. The fight is not over.
Yeah, and here at CUNY, all I'm going to say is the more they try to silence us, the louder we will be. Thank you guys so much for your questions.
Yeah. So that's the end of questions.
Can we have WKC or just say like
River to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
And we will free Palestine!
And we will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
We will free Palestine!
We will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
1, 2, 3, 4!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8!
5, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
Israel is a terrorist state!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
End the siege on Gaza now!
End the siege on Gaza now!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
End the siege on Gaza now!
End the siege on Gaza now!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine is almost free!
Palestine is almost free!
And we will free Palestine!
And we will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
We will free Palestine!
We will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
We will free Palestine!
We will free Palestine!
Within our lifetime!
Within our lifetime!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
Right now.
Right now.
Is the time.
Is the time.
For.
Salat
al-Maghrib.
Salat al-Maghrib.
Muslims will be praying.
Muslims will be praying.
Right here in the front.
Right here in the front.
If you are not praying.
If you are not praying.
Please take a few steps back.
Please take a few steps back.
We will pray.
We will pray.
Then we will chant.
Then we will chant.
And be loud for Gaza.
And be loud for Gaza.
Everyone just take a few steps back. Everyone please take a few steps back and come on the side. Yeah, right here. Once again, if you're praying, come to the front. If you're not, please go to the back or to the side. I don't need your keys.
I was helping out. I gave the guy a mic. You never. Is he married?
Oh no, I feel like it's like it is also so I'm he's really into phenomenon. Oh, what's that?
Something other.
I found
All right, everyone. So that's the end of the press conference. What's that? No. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So they are. There's going to be a prayer now. And then there's going to be a rally. Again, we are outside of City College of New York, which is uptown Manhattan in Harlem. I have to check the battery, see how much battery we have on the live view. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you were able to share that live stream, well, this live stream. I was up at Fordham University, which is actually down, it's south from here. But I was there earlier. If you check out that live stream, I spoke to a few people. So I think it was around 5:30, 6 o'clock. That's when NYPD officers went inside the campus in the lobby and started arresting the students that set up their Gaza Solidarity Encampment in the lobby. So I don't have much battery left on the live view, so I'll stick around for when they get the rally started. I'll be here for a few more minutes, and then I will have to get back. It's gotten a little bit chilly out, I only have a t-shirt on. It was really nice out earlier, but now it's cooling down. But also check out the videos that are going to be posted later tonight or possibly tomorrow of the absolute brutal arrest, the violence from NYPD last night, right here on this street that you're looking at, and also directly in front of the main gates for the campus.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد الله أكبر 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 سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين المظلومين في غزة اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين المظلومين في غزة اللهم كن لهم ناصرا
All right, so majority of the media, local media, national media, they have left. They're gone. But we are still here. We are on the ground. As always, Status Coup is always on the ground, more than anybody else. So please consider supporting us. That is the only way we are able to continue this work and do the work that we do. So if you can, go to StatusCoup.com/join. Sign up for just $5 a month. Comes out to 16 cents a day. So if you appreciate this work that we do, always on the ground, covering protests here in New York City, Washington, D.C., L.A., and it's not just protests that we cover. We cover a lot of issues around the country. The water crisis in Flint, East Palestine. So this is really, really important work that we are doing because the mainstream media refuses to do it, as they are corrupted and just propaganda tool for the state. Also, subscribe so you get the notifications for when we do go live or when we do post videos. Subscribe now, hit that button. This way you will just be able to get the notification. You won't have to go look for us. It will just pop up as soon as we post a video or when we schedule a live show. So tell me what brings you out here. Just start off with that, and then we'll get into more.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we're here to show solidarity with the students who've been arrested and gone after for protesting the genocide in Gaza. And we're here to actually escalate the struggle. We think that, students, workers, faculties should be out on every campus nationally. There shouldn't be any rest until the bombs in Gaza, actually stop. And we think that the struggle needs to be escalated against the actual system that's responsible for the genocide and oppression to begin with, which is U.S. imperialism. We think that there needs to be, people need to dump Genocide Joe, who's, not only responsible for the genocide that's going on in Israel, a mass war, but also the exploitation and oppression of the working class, minorities, and black people here at home. So we want to actually join, those struggles to actually create, working class opposition to this whole system that's responsible for the annihilation, attempted annihilation, of Palestine right now. So we think, everybody should be out here calling for hands-off Palestine, down with U.S. imperialism, down with Genocide Joe. We think that there is a working class alternative, in these elections to actually vote for. You don't have to go for Biden. You don't have to go for Trump. You can actually vote, for the PSL who's running in these elections. Our sign right there says it all. Support to Democrats, support to genocide. Vote for PSL. Come out and support, the students, who are standing up against, this genocide.
And what do you think about when Biden and the Democrats talk about the threat to democracy if Trump comes back at the top, and we see what's happening on college campuses, students being attacked by police? How is this democracy?
Well, we think they're trying to pull the wool over the workers' eyes, over the students' eyes, over all those that are oppressed by this racist capitalist system. To pretend like they're friends of the working people, they're friends of black people, or they're friends of the Palestinians, when really what they do is actually smile in your face, stab you in the back, get you to rope in, vote for them again in November, so the same status quo can keep going over and over and over. We say enough. Genocide Joe has got to go, break with the Democrats, vote for a working class alternative in these elections.
And one more question. What do you think about the media's coverage of the college protest? It seems that they focus on the protest itself and not the reason why the students are actually protesting.
Well, I think that the bourgeois media represents the bourgeoisie, and they're going to narrate their story to actually paint all of the protesters that are out here as anti-Semitic and, etc. They're out here to stop the genocide that was created by the U.S. bourgeoisie. That's what needs to happen.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The Status Coup.
Gaza!
Guys, I want to ask you all to please share the videos from yesterday of the police violence right outside City College here. Please share those videos because the narrative is that it's always protesters causing the chaos, but it's really the NYPD. The police come in, they cause chaos. They agitate, and then they violently assault protesters, whether they're on the street or on the sidewalk. So please counter that narrative. Share those.
End the blockade, break the siege!
slogan. That is not a slogan. That is a promise. That is a promise. voices! To lose our voices! Chanting for liberation! Chanting for liberation! Little do they know! Little do they know! That everything we do! That everything we do! Is an honor! Is an honor! That we do not take lightly! That we do not take lightly! Every child in Gaza! Every child in Gaza! We will continue to scream! So as loud as you can get! So as loud as you can get! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Your hands are red! 40,000 people dead! Judy, your hands are red! 40,000 people dead! Colombia, your hands are red! 40,000 people dead! Colombia, your hands are red! 40,000 people dead! Judy, your hands are red! 40,000 people dead! 40,000 people dead! Colombia, your hands are red!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
We are joined by our very good friends from the Tory Carta, Rabbi Feldman, to speak to us about Jewish solidarity, Palestinian liberation.
Assalamu alaikum. We are all standing here in support of the students. The brave students. The bravery. That should be a lesson. For the rest of Americans. And the rest of the world. Standing up for justice. Standing up for a righteous cause. When we are witnessing that these students are criticized, silenced with false accusations, as if what they stand for is in any way anti-Semitic. This is ridiculous. This is embarrassing. And it's disturbing us Jews. Because we are Jews. And we are being misrepresented. Anti-Zionism is in no way anti-Semitic. Judaism and Zionism is not the same. It is the total contrast. Judaism is a religion only. No politics to it. Versus Zionism. Which is a purely political movement. It does not represent world Jewry. And not the Jewish religion. When you conflate Judaism with Zionism, you are confusing the masses. support this criminal state of Israel. This conflation is not only doing injustice for the students that deserve the freedom of speech. It is not only injustice for the oppressed Palestinian people who deserve our voice. To speak up for them. And to stop their suffering. This conflation is dangerous to Jews as well. Because this makes a statement as if all Jews support all these crimes. This is in addition to the catastrophe for Palestine. A calamity for the Jewish people as well. If we are concerned for humanity, if we are concerned for the oppressed, then we should stand up for Palestine. And stop this entire occupation. If we are truly concerned for the safety and security of the Jewish people, then we should stop the root cause to this problem. The root cause of this endless cycle of bloodshed is not the difference of religions. We have differences of religions. For the longest time. And we live in peace in Palestine. Prior to the 1920s. Prior to the Zionist movement coming into Palestine. If we want to see safety and security for all. Then we want from the river to the sea. Palestine should be free. This is not about the annihilation of the Jewish people. God forbid. This is about the end of occupation. The end of crimes. The justice for all. And at that time, we can hope to see once again. That beautiful peace. That existed in Palestine. Let's hope to see this. In the near future. Inshallah, God willing.
That is why we chant. Repeat after me. Judaism, yes. Zionism no! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Judaism yes! Zionism no! The state of Israel must go! Is anyone here tired? No! I can't hear you. Are you guys tired? No! Will we rest? No! Will we stop? No! Shall disclose? Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close! Divest! We will not stop, we will not rest this close!
Alright, so I'm going to be wrapping up in a few minutes because the battery on the live view is almost down to nothing basically. Because I did the live stream earlier today at Fordham University at Lincoln Center. So go check out that live stream. And then I did the press conference, and today, just now. So I was able to do a couple of interviews. We're going to post those interviews separately. So make sure you are subscribed to our channel. And please share our videos. Please counter the corporate media's narrative, the police narrative about these protests, the university's narrative. Please share those videos to counter the false narratives that those entities are putting out about the protests and about what is actually happening here in New York City.
Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Louder, guys. I believe that. I believe that we will win. 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 Repeat after me. The Zionists used to say that our old will die. And that our young will forget. Our young have not forgotten. And our old have never died.
Repeat after me! Free Palestine! 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 Free Palestine!
All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. Again, make sure you're subscribed so you get the notification for when we do go live again, for when we do post videos. So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And everybody have a good night.